I've been knowing Keith prior to when my wife went to work for him. He had did legal work for the family, for my mom's side of the family. And so I knew of Keith. And but then it's strange how God works. My wife was working in an oil patch and got laid off, and she got a job with Keith. Never did legal work before. She went to work for Keith, and I think God had a reason to put her there. And so since Paulette working for Keith, he's been a blessing to our family. In May of 2015, our youngest son, he had just turned 18 in February. In May 24th, he was killed by a drunk driver who was driving twice the legal limit. And Jordan, he died upon impact. It was a head-on collision on Highway 90 in Iberia Parish. And the reason I say it was a blessing that Paulette was working for Keith is because going through the legal system, the court system, we wouldn't have known what to expect. The word continuance surely didn't mean to me what it means in the court system, and there was a lot of continuances that were done in the court system for this guy. He was pleading not guilty, and it dragged on. So with Keith being there, Paulette working for Keith, she was able to ask those questions, and he understood the way that the court system worked. So he was able to tell us, what to expect, and that it was going to be a drawn-out process. We were just going to have to be patient, and that's why I say he was a blessing. Keith was always there for us to be able to reach out to, and he, if Paulette needed time off, going through the grieving process, he was okay with all of that. He understood. Keith's a family man. He, we know he loves his children, as we do too. And this was something that no one should have to go through. The loss of a child. He was our baby. He had just turned 18 years old. He had just graduated from high school 12 days before the accident. I should reword this. It shouldn't be considered an accident because an accident is something that's avoidable, that's not avoidable. What happened was a crash that was totally avoidable if this man wouldn't have got behind the wheel twice the legal limit of the law, intoxicated. Before the car crash that killed my son, I understood that drinking and driving wasn't a good thing to do. Myself, my wife, neither one of us drink. So it was really kind of in the back of our minds. What happened, brought it into the forefront, driving us to myself volunteering for MAD, go and tell the story about Jordan. Paulette volunteering for the 16th Judicial District, going and talk to the offenders about driving drunk and the things that could happen. And the way that I feel about drinking and driving today is that, I'm not going to tell anyone not to drink, but do it responsibly. Have a designated driver, make a plan, stay at home, get drunk until you can't stand up anymore, but do it at home. Don't get behind the wheel. The grieving process, when something like this happens, you have no clue how you're going to react to it. Everyone is different. I went back to work after taking off 2 weeks, and I'd lock myself in my office and I'd cry every evening. I work nights, and the guys who worked for me, they understood. When they saw my door was closed, they left me alone, and I cried every day. I still cry today, but it was an everyday thing for at least the first 2 years, maybe longer. Paulette, I'm blessed to have Paulette as my wife because she's the backbone, she's strong. She made me understand that, you have to keep pushing, Life goes on, and Jordan would want us to continue. The way I feel about people drinking and getting behind the wheel today, just in casual conversation, talking with friends, co-workers, that kind of thing, whenever they talk about drinking, that's the first thing I think of is the possibility of them getting behind the wheel. And it actually gets me sick to my stomach. I think that it's made me hypersensitive to the fact that this happens in Louisiana. If you look at the statistics, being involved with MAD, I kind of know some of the statistics about drunk driving. But when you think about when you're on the road between the hours of 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening, that every 3 out of 5 people that are behind the wheel in some kind of way, shape, or form are influenced by drugs, prescription medication, or alcohol, is scary. You think to yourself that this could have happened to me instead of Jordan. It can happen to any one of us. Let me tell you a little story about Keith and what he did for my family, for myself. When all of this had happened, when something bad, like the death of a child, happens and you get thrown into reality, a lot of things comes to mind. One of the things that I had thought about was, what if that would happen to me? Would my family be taken care of? Would my wishes take place for my money, my property, that kind of thing, to go to my wife, my son that I have left? So my wife had came to me and said, you need to talk to Keith about doing your will. I said, okay. She said, I'm going to make you an appointment. I said, okay. So I went, and Keith explained to me what would happen, say if I would happen to get killed, an accident, whatever, or if me and Jacob, my son, if both of us were in a vehicle and we'd both get killed in an accident, what would happen? So when he explained to me that, Gary, you need to take care of your property, the things that you own. He said there's 2 types of property. There's community property, which you and your wife acquire while y'all are married. Okay, she's entitled to half. If something would happen, a divorce would happen, or what have you. And you also have what's called separate property, which would be the things that you inherit. In the state of Louisiana, if you don't have a will and something happens and you die, your separate property doesn't go to your wife, doesn't go to your spouse. It goes to your siblings. And I thought, well, I can't let that happen. That's why you need to do a will. And so I said, well, okay, we'll go ahead and do a will. I want everything to go to Paulette. If something happens to me and Jacob, everything goes to Paulette. And, and we fixed it all up. He included a trust with the will to state all of my wishes, how I wanted everything divided and all of this. So I told him, Mr. Keith, okay, thank you very much. What I owe you? Nothing. I just wanted to help. There's not very many people that just want to help. And so now, whenever Keith needs me for anything, I'm more than willing to help him. Actually, I cut his grass at his law office every week, no charge. So I feel like I'm repaying him for what he did for me. He helped me tremendously. Keith would be a fantastic addition to the 16th Judicial District. You know, I really wish that I could say that I don't know people in the 16th Judicial District, but having gone through what we have with the loss of our son and having to go through the court system, we know these people on a first name basis. And Keith would make an excellent judge. I know he's fair, he's compassionate, he cares. And that's the kind of person that I would want sitting behind the bench if ever I needed. If ever again, I pray to God that I don't need to go to court and have to go through all of what we went through. But I know Keith would be the man for the job. If there's one word that I could describe the man that I know, Keith Thibodeaux, it would be awesome. He would be the person that you'd want as your daddy. In my opinion, he's that kind of person. My name is Gary Prince, and the reason that I will vote for Keith Thibodeaux is because I personally know the man, and I know he would make a fantastic addition to the 16th Judicial District. He's caring, he loves people, and he would make an awesome judge. I'm voting for Keith Thibodeaux.